Look at these beautiful flowers. Oh my gosh, all colors of the rainbow. Aren't they dandies?
You turn around, start off. This one was cut off. It's a white one. It's already in a pot. We'll come back and show what happened. This one, turn around, bloomed early and it cannot be taken to the show. This flower here is Gay Triumph. It's a big flower, just starting. It's not show worthy. This one back here is known as Cherokee Gold. It's a beautiful flower. It's one of the old flowers. This one is not show worthy. It's only 1/3 bloom. This is known as Wild Man. Beautiful red, but it is not show worthy. This other one here, Barbara B. This one is not show worthy. Now we have one here. It's rain soaked, and it can't be taken into this show because it's not show worthy. It's known as Cheerleader. This lavender one comes from the other station, and that's Pollyann. Beautiful lavender color. This particular flower is ready and it'll be cut for show. Flower here, turn around, was spoiled, was diseased. I had to take it out and put a spare in here. This spare will never bloom a flower for the show. This flower is known as Miss America. There are 4 beautiful blooms that can be taken into the show. Here's a flower that's generally good for the show. Somehow this year didn't grow too well. It's known as Bonaventure. Now we have 3 gorgeous blooms here. But if you can see, this is rain soaked and it's not show worthy. But the one across the way is ready for the show. It'll be cut and taken into the show. It's known Barbara Shell, rather large flower. There's a flower that's dark pink, and both of these flowers are not show worthy, and it's known as Barbara Bush. It's a dark pink flower. Here's another flower that's rain soaked and cannot be taken into the show. Now we'll go to the next row.
Gee, they're beautiful, Ben. Oh, look at this lavender one here. Oh, gosh.
Pollyann. It's not Cheerleader. That belongs to the other stake on the other side. This stake we have a flower by the name of White Albus. And there are 4 blooms here. Of the 4, these 3 can be taken into the show. They'd be cut later and taken into the show. Here, this one bloomed too early and I don't have any flowers on it. Albus Supreme. Lloyd Houston. Bloom is late. It can't be taken into the show. Now this is an old one. That's about 15 years old. Known as Cherokee Gold.
Oh, that orange one. Oh,
beautiful
what a
orange
beauty.
flower. We have 2 flowers that are show where they'll be cut and taken into the show. Here we have a beautiful pink one. But it's half bloom and it cannot be taken into the show. Here we have a beautiful lavender flower. That's known as Pollyann. There's 2 of them here that can be cut and taken into the show. Here's another one that's a very old flower. It's purple, known as Evelyn Rumble.
I'm going to get closer, Ben.
This is going to be cut and taken into the show. There's another favorite flower here, known as Almond Joy. We have one that's qualified to be cut and taken into the show. These others bloomed here early and they're not
Ready.
ready for show. All three into the back. Now you have to come back. This one I'll turn around. Now this flower here is ready for the show to be cut, but it's one of the unusual ones. It's known as Nita, and it's a variegated. It's pink and it's got red stripes in it. Rather unusual. Now here we have a dahlia, a white one, Adrian, and here's one that can't be going to show until half in bloom. This is going to be cut and taken into the show. And here, this one is rain soaked, and you can see along the bottom. That's not worthy to be taken into the show.
Gee, you know, Ben, it's going to be, isn't it a shame to cut all these flowers out of your yard and they're gone, and yet the yard looks so beautiful?
Oh, in another week or so, we have a lot of buds. Now here you can see there's a bud. In about a week or so to 10 days, we'll have another flower similar to that.
Oh, gosh, isn't that nice? Boy, how nice.
That's grown from a seed, and it'll be taken to the seedling bench and analyzed for future use. And in 3 years, if this flower sustains, it'll be named and put on the market like some of these others here.
When you say seedling, Ben, does that mean a piece of a tuber, or is it?
No, sir. It means from a seed.
From a seed.
From a seed of a flower.
Now, at the end of the year, when you pull these up for the winter, will it have a tube on the bottom?
That'll have a tube. I have those in a pot so that the tube don't get contaminated from the others.
Oh, uh-huh.
That's one seedling here, and then we have another seedling here. You didn't photograph this one, did you?
No, oh no.
This is a first-year seedling also. Beautiful, and it's show-worthy because it's very nice and round. The center is full, so these are new flowers that are show-worthy.
Now that means you can name them, can't you?
After 3 years, yeah, I can give them a name. I'll be entitled to give them a name, and it'll be logged in the American Dahlia Society that I've introduced the flower into the Dahlia Society.
Boy, isn't it wonderful? All these names, those different names, and then you'll have the honor of being in there. After you're long gone, they'll still be here.
Right.
Gosh.
I plan on naming this one after myself and my wife, Benjo.
Oh, Benjo. Very clever.
Here, this is a bee dahlia. This is show-worthy, and it's smaller from the other dahlias, but this is the classification of it. Now here is a sister flower to this off the same plant. Now we have two flowers that are show-worthy. Now this one here cannot be taken to the show because it's only in half bloom. This one here is past bloom in the same group. And here, as beautiful as it is, the stems are soft, and they're difficult to turn around and raise them so that they can be show-worthy.
Just because they bend, they're not show-worthy,
That's
huh?
right.
Oh, and such a beauty.
You can't put supports on them into the show.
Oh,
They're
and what a beauty.
disqualified.
Oh, I got to get closer to this one. Hold this one up again, Ben. Oh, gosh, is that a beauty.
And the name of that is Bright and Joy.
Mmm.
Now here is a new introduction that's 2 years old.
I've got it.
Henry Graff. It's won several awards in the shows. And here's a flower that's show-worthy. And here's a sister flower that's bloomed out. This cannot be taken to the show because it has a hard center.
Oh, just for that yellow center.
Right, that's not show-worthy. As long, and it's full bloom.
Oh, boy.
Now here, this is a show winner for over 20 years, Juanita. A bee cactus, dark red. And it's been a show winner for over 20 years.
Gee, isn't that a beauty?
Yes, that is
Yes,
a beautiful
it is a
flower.
real beautiful flower.
There's another champion winner for years too, known as April Dawn. And this is a light blend. It has lavender tips and white inside. Here is an unusual flower. That's show-worthy, smarty, and it's a bronze, but the tip of the pallets are orange. Very, very attractive. We have here 2 or 3 of them that are show-worthy. Here's what happens.
Oh, look at this beautiful bud here, Ben.
Yeah, well, see, that'll be ready maybe next week for Central States. Here, this is Valley Chief. This one here was in full bloom, and last couple of days, the rain soaked, and you see what happened, the weight of the flower.
Oh, bended way over.
And furthermore, this flower couldn't be taken because it has a hard center. It's past the blooming stage.
How fussy they are.
Yeah. The others are... You can get in here a little closer. This is on the other side.
Oh, isn't that something?
That's a bicolor.
Oh,
Or a dark blend.
That is just super. That ought to win something for sure.
Purple and white blended in.
Gosh, how gorgeous.
We have about 2 or 3 of them that are going to be show-worthy. This magic moment. It's classified as white, but before it gets into full bloom, it has a light hue to it that's kind of lavender. But when it gets into full bloom, it's all white. Here's another one that has soft stem, bright star. Here is a beautiful flower. The only thing, it has soft stems. We have 2 of them in here that can be taken into the show. I don't know if you can be able to get in here. You can push these over to get in here. This is a BB. It's a small flower, been a champion on tables for quite a while. It has quite a few awards. Hamilton Hill, it's a BB formal decorative, and it's in the orange class, although it's not pure orange. This one here is known as Joe K, and it blooms profusely. On one plant, you get as high as 50 to 60 flowers. And that's the way they grow. You cut a flower off, and you have another on. Now, this is a perfect flower ready for the show. Now, this one is past bloom. But...
Did Josephine have anything to do with this name?
No, this was that way. Here's one that's past bloom, and you can see you have a bud right next to it. In another week, this bud will be the size of that one there. That's what I do. I come through here and cut out these, and that turns around, supports the other flowers. Here's a white one that doesn't do too well. It's in a too dark of a shade. Here we are. This one is known as Faldego Splash. That's done due to the lavender tips and the white centers. And here's 2 of them that are show-worthy, and we'll cut them down later and take them into the show. There's another one here that belongs to this group. And here, this flower blooms profusely. It's a BB, which is about 4 inches. It has an unusual name, Josephine Z. But the color's pretty on this. This is a light blend. It has light lavender tips and white centers. Here's about a half a dozen here that can be cut and taken into the show. Here again is your Smarty. Rather unusual color. Here I had a couple of blooms that bloomed out. And this is another champion. This one's known as Manor Sunset. It was introduced a man in Indiana. And it's a rather unusual orange color. These others are the same. Here's Potato Splash also. About it.
You notice Benny doesn't use a lot of room for his dahlias because he's got just a backyard for them. But isn't it wonderful what a person can do with just a little bit of space and what they can garner out of it if they plan right? Ben is now getting a flower ready for the show. Ooh, I hate to see you cut that, Ben.
That's a first-year seedling. It's a very good flower, and it's going to be a real show-worthy flower.
Once you cut it, it seems like it's on its way out.
No, it'll be very appreciated by many people at the show. They'll have to have at least one set of leaves, and the other leaves are trimmed off. And you always, when you cut a flower for the show, you cut this end here at about a 45-degree angle. And that turn, because it has a bamboo type of a stem. And here it rests on the edge, and water penetrates in here so that the flower can be shown for at least 2 or 3 days at the show.
I hope you remember all these tips, because boy, this is from an expert.
And the next thing you do is make sure that you have proper identification for the flower.
Could I see that tag real close, Ben?
This is a tag that has
Okay.
the name and all the information of what the flower is. And it has a code or a class. This one will go into 1506.
Okay.
And then the tag is covered
So you can't see the name?
of the person that's exhibiting the flower.
Oh, so the judges won't be
When
favored.
the judges judge the flower, here the name is concealed and all the information about the flowers at the top of the tag.
Now that's the bucket you bring them in,
Right.
so they don't crush each other. Or what is the purpose of a bucket like that, Ben?
That's to transport the flowers from home to the show site.
So they don't injure each other, leaf-wise or
Right.
anyway, huh?
And the bucket at the bottom has got about 1.5 gallons of water so that the flower can siphon up the water and keep the flower alive. Usually it makes it difficult for me to tie this up because when my wife is here, she holds the flower and I tie the tag.
Oh, I'm going to take a picture of inside one of your buckets to show you the detail of it.
Yeah,
My, you can put a lot of flowers in each one of these buckets, can't you?
well, if they're small, yes. The buckets were designed for all purposes. This I should have done when it was still on the plant.
Oh, put the tag on, yeah, you'd have support. Can I hold the plant in any way?
Yeah, I thought you were going to be taking.
I'm still
No, I
taking.
got it now.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a beauty. Now the show, the judging is tomorrow, isn't it?
It'll be tomorrow about 10 o'clock
In the morning.
in the morning.
Uh-huh. And when do you, are you going to bring these flowers over there today?
No, I usually, either if it's close by, I deliver them in Friday night. And we're going this year a little ways, so I'll get up early Saturday morning and get them down to the show about 6, 7 o'clock.
Wow. You're going to be up a lot tonight,
Oh, yes.
aren't you? And what happens Sunday?
Sunday will be open for the public.
Oh, uh-huh.
Anybody can go in and see from 11 to 5.
11 till 5,
Yeah,
okay.
over Busy Bee on 192nd and Halsted. Now this one here is known as Cherokee Gold. And it's a beautiful orange, and it's an oldie. It's over 20 years in existence. Now this is Wild Man. It's usually a good show flower, but this is just starting to bloom, and in about 4 more days this will be show worthy. Probably for the next show, next Saturday. You want to take this?
Sure.
This is Barbara B. It's just starting to bloom. It'll be ready for show in about a week. Now this one is known as Cheerleader. But now you can see what happens when they get rain soaked. If the rain didn't hit it the last 2, 3 days, this would have been a good flower for a show. Cheerleader, and it's lavender. Now this is a beautiful light lavender color known as Pollyann. This is another good bloomer. I got to get out some out of the... Here, you can get in close. I don't have... That flower is known as Miss America. And all 4 of the flowers are beautiful and ready for the show. Oh. Hey, that flower there is known as Bonaventure. But somehow or another this year it doesn't seem to like too much water. We had a lot of rain. So even the color isn't through. That should be a bronze color, and now it's yellow due to too much water. Now this, I'll pull this one in because this is the shorty one. Barbara Shell. And that's bronze in color. This is a dark pink flower, and it's kind of shade here, so it isn't true, but its name is rather unusual, Barbara Bush. This flower will be in full bloom in about 10 days. This flower is known as Adrian. It's a white flower, and its pellets are kind of curvy, so they call it. It's in a straight cactus family. And here we have a white flower again, known as White Elvis. And the pellets on this particular flower are different from the other. So it's known as formal decorative, white.
Okay.
This one is Lloyd Houston. It'll be ready for the show in about 6, 7 days. It's straight cactus and it's orange. Here's our favorite, Cherokee Gold. It's one of the most beautiful flowers in the orange class. Eagle Solid, dark pink. Now you see the pellets on the flower? That's called incurved cactus. And those orange ones there, that's Hamilton Lil. On together. They're both the same, and that's Nagel Solid, solid, with soft stems.
Boy, they sure are red beauties then. Gosh. This is Pollyann?
Pollyann. Lavender. There's another.
Gosh, that's a pretty color.
One to it. Brap. This is a new introduction. It's about 2 years old. At one time it was a seedling, some of the seedlings we showed. This is in the lavender class. And see the pellets on it, a informal decorative due to the type of pellets you have.
Oh, what a beautiful red one.
There you are. This is Juanita. This has been a show winner for over 20 years. It's still a favorite of mine.
It sure is. It is a beauty, Ben.
This is Evelyn Rumble. And that's purple in color. I'm enjoying it. This is spent already. It's not show worthy at all.
Oh my gosh. All the colors of the rainbow. And here we got the champ. Okay, Ben, describe some of them for me.
So we're here at the end of the year. And right now, some of the colors aren't as true as they are usually during the regular season. But we have some late ones here. There's the white one that you gave me, and that's all bloom now. You can see the top all cut off. The yellow was a little late in blooming. And the other orange one, that's one of the newer ones, and that was really, really good this year. And here's our new introduction. That's all bloomed off. You can tell by the tops that are cut off. Those are the blossoms that have been taken off.
Gee, they're beautiful, Ben. It's a shame. Frost will come in and knock them out.
Yep, it is. And the pink and white, that's Jack's favorite. He loved that thing. There's another one of my new introductions. This one is going to be called Benjo Kin. And the red one there, that is a profuse bloomer. It blooms just, there are, I'll bet you, over 100 flowers that have been cut off, and there's still buds to be bloomed.
Is that one plant?
That's one plant. That's
Oh
tied
my
up in there.
gosh. Holy mackerel.
Then this yellow one here is Cherokee Gold, and that's an old timer, very good. But these already, the season, the stems are turning soft because of the cool weather coming in. Another beautiful one that the stem comes soft. There's the one that Jack really loves. April Dawn, that pink and white.
Oh, that one back there.
One back there. He's just in love with that.
That is a pretty one.
And I'll see that he gets one for next year. I promised him a couple of plants so that... And here's another one of my new introductions. This one's going to be called Benjo Nick. That's after our granddaughter. There's some of the others that are there. That's a very nice flower. But they're fading away, and the end of the season, that's expected of them. And they're not taken care of as well as they are during the time when they're being prepared for a show. Kind of neglected them. I'm ashamed of it too.
Oh, no, Ben, not your yard. You should see everybody else's yard this time of the year.
Well, that's one of those things.
Yeah, a lot of the people have pulled everything out already. There's nothing in the
Oh,
yard at all.
well, you enjoy it, and then the cold weather sets in like today. The weather's too cool to be out here working. It just goes through you.
Yes, I'm chilled out here
yeah?
too.
Absolutely.
But it is beautiful, Ben.
When you come from here, you can see a lot of bright colors.
Oh, yes. Isn't it something? Oh, beautiful.
It's a great hobby.
It
If
sure
more
is.
people would get to know what pleasure there is in growing these and enjoy them, and have others come out and enjoy them too. My garden is open to all the friends and neighbors that I have. And there's many of them come in and look at them. It's a little late this year, but it's a very beautiful color. And that's yellow cactus, and they're the ladies' favorites. Ladies seem to like cactus flowers.
I do too, Ben. They look real pretty. They're different.
Right, they sure are.
Oh, look at all these colors. Oh, gosh, and the season's coming to an end.
This is a new introduction, but this already way past bloomed out. That was, they call this one Big Orange. And it usually goes into about 8 inches, which you can see by the size, but they're already bloomed out.
Oh, they're beautiful. It's a shame it's October.
Well, we enjoy, you can't have them all year round. They grow that far, and
Yeah, look at 1 week away from November.
right, you bet.
Yeah.
We're lucky this year. We, last year, middle of October, we had a frost. Here it's at the end of October, no frost. This is one that's rather unusual, and I like very much. That's in the cactus family too. And that's orange cactus, similar to the yellow one there, very similar. And it grows abundantly. Blossoms on it, there's anywhere from 30 to 50 blossoms on the plant.
Can we get back there where that flower was that Jack liked?
Oh, sure, come on in. Just push that over to the side. You get in there all right?
Yeah, I'm in.
Here's Jack's favorites.
Boy, aren't
April
they pretty.
Dawn.
They are beautiful.
And there are many of the ladies in the club just love this flower. It's an unusual pattern of color, white inside and lavender tips.
Boy, that's great. Beautiful flowers. It's worth all the labor, isn't it, Ben?
It sure is to enjoy them.
Anybody can grow marigolds, but not everybody can grow dahlias.
Oh, yes, they could. Kenora wildfire. That was broken off the branch. That was another popular one for a couple of years. It's kind of fading out, but the color is beautiful. Beautiful, bright cardinal red. Beautiful. Beautiful, bright cardinal red. Enjoy these two. They're the last of the summer.
Oh, they are nice.